In my review of the first episode of the third season, thanks to them, I made an assumption that the reason why Disney practically cancelled the third season of The Owl House by replacing it with just 3 special episodes with overall runtime of 6 regular episodes was that the show had too explicit LGBTQ representation and Disney simply didn't want to risk. But now I am not so sure, to be honest. There is another possible reason for this. The coronavirus pandemic really affected the company because their theme parks were closed for some time and profit obviously decreased. And the first season of The Owl House premiered exactly when pandemic was starting at the beginning of 2020. As a result of COVID affecting profit, Disney needed to save some money. So The Owl House had to be sacrificed, unfortunately. But it's all just speculations, we don't know for sure. Anyway, let's talk about the episode for the future. I must say that I liked it more than Thanks to Them, which, if I'm being honest, felt like a stop. It had the beginning and the ending, but everything in between was so ruthlessly cut. For the future felt more complete. But still there are so many missed opportunities. There are 2 additional plot lines that I think were completely butchered. The first one is Bosha's redemption arc. I've seen someone online comparing Bosha to Ketra from She-Ra, and I can understand why. Bosha is obviously not a bad person. She's arrogant and mean, yes, but that's all for show. She wants to look tough. This is why she's trying to mask her insecurities and her true feelings. She cannot be vulnerable because of her social status. You know, like Diamond Tiara from My Little Pony. Or Emily before she met Luz. After all the craziness that happened, Bosha realized that she cannot pretend anymore. She cannot run from her true self and needs true friends to be by her side. At the end, she helps out Luz and the others and finds true friendship. I think this potentially could be an interesting redemption arc. Maybe not on the same scale as Ketra, but it doesn't have to be. Bosha is just a minor character who didn't play much role in the first 2 seasons. Another plot line that we lost is the relationship between King and the Collector. How King gets to know the Collector better, even feels sympathy for him, only to realize that Collector's ancestors killed all the Titans. It's a pity that we lost so much, but at least the show wasn't cancelled altogether and we're still getting the finale, even though it might have been better. After watching the episode, I can feel how Dana Terrace and the crew struggle to make the story feel consistent and coherent without feeling like something's missing. The first episode struggled more, but For the Future also has tons of moments that feel rushed, especially when Luz gets her talisman. Nobody, even Camilla, really acts surprised and flabbergasted. Everyone just accepts that Luz now has a talisman, and it's completely normal thing, even if Luz isn't supposed to have a talisman, because she's not a witch. Willow's emotional breakdown also wasn't properly explored, but when the episode is so densely packed, there is simply no time. After watching For the Future, I feel like the main bad guy eventually is gonna be Bellas and not the Collector. The Collector is not really evil. Sure, he did some bad stuff, really bad, like turning people into puppets, but for him it's so just a game. The Collector is just a kid who doesn't want to be alone. He wants to have friends and have fun. At first he even refuses to believe that King might be coming up with a plan to defeat him. Bellas, on the other hand, is a villain who didn't mind committing genocide against the witches of the Boiling Isles. There is a reason why he didn't perish after the season 2 finale. He already exposed King's intention to bring the Collector down, and I think he's got an even bigger role in the final episode of the show. I was really questioning his role after the first episode, but now it definitely makes more sense. After New York Comic Con in October 2022, Disney finally saw how popular The Owl House was and even came to regret the decision to cut it short. The Owl House is arguably the best Disney Channel show since Gravity Falls, which ended almost 7 years ago. The third season had so much potential. I'm sure though that the last episode called Watching and Dreaming is gonna be good. I hope that The Owl House can set an example and Disney will allow more original shows in the future. and give more room to the original creators such as Dana Terrace. I hope we'll see more shows like The Owl House or Amphibia in the future.